Hello, hello. This is Tom Sapp, Tom Sapp Photography. My website is tomsapp.com if you want to check me out. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how to use or how to stop action photography. And there's a couple just general rules that go along with this that you want to remember, and once you hear them, they need to be embedded in your head because it will never leave. And all the rules that I'm going to tell you are set up for basically a 60mm lens. That's your standard lens, and they do vary. If you go with a longer lens, of course, the rules are going to increase, or if you use like a shorter lens, 60 is going to be your average point. Even if you use a 30mm lens, you still want to use the rules that apply for a 60mm lens usually. So for a 60mm lens to take a photograph handheld without motion blur, you're going to be at a 60th of a second, or you actually add 1 as the technical way of saying it. You just say 61, so it's 1 over 61 is your shutter speed, okay? Now, if you want to go up, say somebody's walking down the sidewalk, you want to freeze them. They're not moving really fast, but they're still moving. You want to freeze that motion, and you have a 60mm lens on your camera. ISO 400 is the standard. You want to be at 1/25th. Okay, now say you have a little faster motion. Say there's a car going down the road 20 miles an hour. Now 20 miles an hour, you want to be up around 500. Now if you get into shooting races, like where it's cars driving or horses or whatever race kind of situation you're in, and things are moving very, very fast, the shutter speed again is going to play the biggest role in that, and that's going to be 1,000 all the way up to 8,000. Sometimes you need to max out your camera. And I find myself more often than not shooting at a lower ISO, say 200 ISO, and then shooting at 2.8 just so I can get that shutter speed up as high as I possibly can. And in some light situations like low light, it's extremely hard to freeze action. At the end of the day, if you're doing a lot of horse shows, a lot of races happen to where they go right into the nighttime. And a lot of the bigger stadiums have lights to where you can actually get a higher shutter speed and freeze that action. But the shutter speed is what is what is going to play the biggest role in freezing action. So in that situation, you would basically make an equation. Shutter speed is first, that's top priority, followed by your aperture to get the good exposure, and then you want the ISO after that. Adjust your ISO to get the detail in the image, and then you adjust the white balance for the color. So that's basically the algorithm or recipe to get a solid exposure if you want to stop motion. This is Tom Sapp, Tom Sapp Photography. Thank you for listening.